The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Well, good morning, everyone. Happy February.
Good morning.
Morning.
And welcome to My Morning Coffee, where the conversation is always hot, bold, and full of flavor. My name is Tonya McKenzie. I am your local audacious author, advocate, and PR consultant.
Hi, I'm Gia Neal Sneed, and I am the owner of Mahogany Box, your fashion enthusiast.
I didn't know we were having catchphrases. I'm Syreeta Butler. I'm just a licensed marriage and family therapist, period.
Well, welcome back. February, the month of love, right?
Yeah.
So they say. And so we are going to jump right into what's been going on since the last time we met. So that was January. And I'm thinking a lot of stuff has gone on. We went on a road trip.
We did that.
Yes, we did.
That happened.
We went on a road trip.
Yes.
We went to Northern California. You want to tell them about the trip?
It was really a fun trip. We got up at dark 30 and got on the road. And of course,
here we go.
One of us
Here we go. I knew it was
supposed to be the bookman, and they were sleeping the whole way.
So we need to talk about road trips, right? So everybody's not suited for the front seat.
Right.
Okay.
Somebody jumped their little self in the back seat because someone else was very well equipped to be in the back seat.
Yeah, so I'm driving, and we're going to have no more sleepy people in the passenger side.
I am fully okay with that, but I will always be the sleepy person.
Well, to be honest, I took the back seat because, in my profession, sometimes I'm the bookman, and I was off. I was off work.
What is the bookman?
That's the person who, does the bookings, does the arrest form when we arrest people. That's also the person that writes all the reports if we got any reports to do. So that's the bookman. So I was trying to be like really a passenger. I was kind of feeling like I was back in work mode if being in the front seat.
Right.
You're going to have to play a different role next time.
Or just play your position because you're used to it. So go on and play what you know.
Okay, well,
I'm the sleepy one.
I'll see.
I like naps.
So I had to come to terms again with this aging process since the last time we met.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know if you've seen it on Facebook. So I'm going to do my due diligence and let you all know that I'm going to introduce you to my new friend Michael Kors, who helps me see now.
Because she's frauded for how many years?
So what happened was...
Hey, Michael.
Hey. I couldn't see the score of the Warriors game, and you guys know I am a diehard Warriors fan. I looked up on the screen, and I couldn't see the score. And they started laughing at me because I'm asking my kids, what's the score? And they're like, what do you mean, Mom? Like, what's the score of the other games that they're showing at the bottom? No, it was like 69 to...
Yeah. Oh. I remember when that happened.
Right eye.
Both.
Yeah.
So I'm nearsighted and farsighted.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. The double whammy.
I can't even get contacts, so this is the new me.
Well, you should really embrace it. I like the glasses. As you can see, I'm also a woman that wears glasses, and I've embraced my blindness, and I actually make it a fashion thing. So I have multiple pairs of glasses, different colors, so they change with my mood and what I'm wearing. So I try to coordinate. See, everything about me is about coordinating. It's about being a blank canvas and putting things on that's art. And so when I go shopping for glasses, I keep them. I think about art and how it makes me feel. So you got to embrace it, girl. We can go shopping. We can get all different colors. You can get a brown pair, black pair, gold pair. We can get some with rhinestone. Girl, I got plans for us with these glasses. I got plans.
Can we get them bedazzled? Is that?
Oh, yes.
Am I too old for?
No, you can bedazzle. And look, Mahogany Box can bedazzle them.
I don't have anything to say about this conversation because I still have my eyes.
So what you can say,
they haven't betrayed me.
Oh yeah, to be young.
You just wait. I got jokes. But what I can say is that since I had my glasses, I was actually able to watch the Grammys. Did anybody else watch?
Oh yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
And what was your take? Give us your favorite moment and your least favorite moment.
I didn't watch it like that where I have a favorite and least favorite. I was kind of in and out because as I was watching, then I stopped and I went to my craft room and I started sewing. So, I was back and forth. Right. But I did get to see my girl Cardi B. Cardi B, man, after I saw her in her little bodysuit, I was like, shoot, Cardi gonna have me go out here and get a bodysuit and act like I'm 20 again. Okay, I was like, girl, wear that suit. I was just like, you're loving it and the feathers and everything. I was like, look at my girl Cardi. Love her.
Love Cardi.
We gonna have it popping.
And what about you?
Favorite and not so favorite?
Yeah.
So my favorite was Gaga's acceptance speech, which she won for Best Duo with her and Bradley Cooper for Shallow. But in her speech, she spoke about mental health and how artists, musicians especially, they fight mental health all the time and they don't speak about it. They don't get help for it. And so she said that she was in a really dark place and that she was really grateful and that for all her fellow artists, don't feel alone. Reach out, and if you know someone who is struggling, reach out to them. So it's kind of like a check on your strong friends, and I was struggling myself. So I was like, yay, Gaga!
She was speaking to you.
Yeah. She was speaking. She was giving me life. Least favorite? I didn't really have a least favorite that I can... Yeah, there isn't a least favorite.
Right. So I have to let you know how much I absolutely loved seeing Alicia Keys do her thing.
Oh, yes, yes.
There is nothing better than an artist in their zone. And she was feeling it with them two pianos, and her voice was just perfect. It was seamless. That was just amazing to me. And it was just good to see her back. And I heard she's going to have some amazing drops coming soon. So definitely looking forward to that. Love amazing vocalists and people that can do some great things like that. I didn't really feel the whole J-Lo Motown thing.
Because it wasn't for her to be on
Listen, music, I think Michelle Obama said it best, is music is the story of her life.
Yes.
Right? And many of us can remember Motown. I'm not sure if we're talking to you, but much of Motown, the classic Motown, plays a big role in the soundtrack of my life. So the J-Lo effect kind of took away from that.
Okay.
A little bit.
And see, I didn't see the J-Lo. I didn't see the performance. I just saw all the comments and that were on Facebook. So I really can't say, but I get it in a way, but in a way I don't get it. But because I didn't see the performance, I really can't.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you,
performer.
The performance was a smash.
Okay.
Like she keeps me in the gym.
Right.
She motivates my 5 a.m.s, but
she ain't Motown.
Right.
So
she's
just
not
because
Motown.
she's from, they could have found a
They could have
Motown
done
artist.
They could have done a Motor City.
So it's not really on her. I didn't expect her to say no, but that's on the Grammys.
Right.
Yet again, they continue to make mistakes when it comes to artists and artistry and pairing the right things together. I did love the Dolly Parton. I love a classic Dolly Parton. She's an amazing vocalist also.
Yeah. I'm just glad that they didn't ask J-Lo or anyone that may not have been able to hold it to do the Aretha tribute, because that would have been devastating.
You know what I did like? How when Alicia started off, she is hosting, and we hadn't seen her in a while. And she said what I liked. She says, I can't just by myself. I got to bring my girls with me. And then when the girls came out, I was just like, yes.
Love
and it was like my favorites. I was like, oh, look at my girl Jada, and then of course Michelle Obama.
But the reason they did that though, and I think that we kind of are overlooking, is the fact that it was because there was no female representation last year's Grammys. So now they're like, hyping it up a whole lot because.
Well, yeah, but I thought it was a good touch, and she brought out, it was, with all of them, she had Gaga, she said, she had a lot of people, I just thought it was a cool girlfriend, a woman's moment, here are my sisters, here are my friends, they're here to support me, and that's what it's about, supporting one another. Yeah, so sure. I really did like that, that was like, hey, so.
Special for me is always to see a man supporting his woman. So every time they had it on Swissy and he's pumped for her, that always warms my little heart. So
that's like you and Ray, huh?
Well, that's how I feel. We love love.
That's how I feel when I see you and Ray's pictures, on IG and Facebook. I'm like,
my day one.
Yeah. I was like, look. So I get it.
I'm definitely sure you get it. Well, and speaking of which, what are you doing for Valentine's? What are you and your love doing for Valentine's this year?
Well, we never really. Valentine's Day is just another day to me, so we never really go out and do anything really big, and I don't like waiting in lines for restaurants. But like I told you guys, ever since that Cardi last night, I'm about to go online and find me one of them bodysuits because I might have to get one, put it on, and wait for for Jeff to get home and act like I'm 20. Hey, so. So, that's what I might be doing. Who knows, but.
I saw a visual and I'm like, that ain't that.
Hey.
And what about you?
Nothing. Just working, actually.
Right.
We got, we trying to make shit happen.
Right.
We about our money right now. So we trying to make shit happen.
Right.
It's Valentine's Day.
Are you working all day and all night though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Working day and night.
Okay. So you saying you working, but I know you really are working. Okay, so you calling it work, but you're gonna be working it.
But everybody realize and know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
so.
okay.
Okay. Well, then there's that.
Okay.
So,
what about you, Tonya?
Well, look, we've always entered into this understanding that every day is Valentine's Day in our marriage.
Okay.
There's no one special day. It's not a birthday. I don't want any flowers that's going to die in 2 weeks. I don't want to go stand in line and have an unpleasant evening. And he's actually out of town working.
Oh.
So I think it's going to be me and Netflix and sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. Netflix
so you and the kids.
Yeah.
They're gonna be
kids.
I
got
you and the kids. All
3
right.
little Valentines. So we'll probably make some cookies, eat, and
they will love to be your Valentine.
Yeah,
they're going to be super
be loving
excited.
on me.
Yeah.
So Valentine's will be cool. But when we come back from our break, we are going to have someone that's might be able to help us a little bit with Valentine's or just any day. I'll leave that right there. But before we go, let's talk a little bit about the B. Smith thing. Have you been paying attention to that?
I have.
And
I'm sure that my take on it may be a little bit unfavorable, but let's catch you up for the viewers who haven't or don't know as much about the B. Smith. So B. Smith she started off as a supermodel, and she was a really famous African-American supermodel. No, I'm saying African-American. She's a black supermodel.
There you go.
And she got married. She became a restaurateur after she left the modeling world. Made a gaggle of money, her and her husband, and in about, I think, 2004, I believe, she came out publicly that she had early onset Alzheimer's. And her husband was right by her side, and they did the journey of having awareness for Alzheimer's. Fast forward to now, she's totally regressed, and so she no longer is the B. Smith that everyone knew and loved. It's just a shell of her. She's actually regressed, I think he said, to about 7 years old. But the kicker is that her husband actually found love and started dating a woman, and she was also a caretaker as well for her father. But the hoopla is that he moved her into the house, and she just so happens to be a white woman. And so Black Twitter was on fire. They were on fuego, saying, how can you move her in? You're cheating on your wife. You're unfaithful. Y'all just over there spending all of B's money. And, she gonna come back and haunt you. And she ain't even dead yet. So folks had a lot to say. And he went on to the Today Show with Al Roker and was like, look, my wife has been gone for, she has been mentally gone for the last 4 or 5 years, and it gets lonely being a caretaker, taking care of someone who is now like a 6 or 7 year old. I was lonely. I was depressed. I had no one that I can turn to. And this woman came into my life and she understood the struggle. She understood what being a caretaker was. And me moving her in was so that because she wanted to support me in taking care of B. So that is the backstory. And my feeling about it is I get it. If you've ever been a caretaker, you know how difficult it is and how lonely it can be. And he isn't who his wife is who she was. And we don't know what they spoke about in their marriage before she completely regressed. She may be okay with it, but who are we to say anything about it and to judge it? So I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
I think he also made a comment about the upheaval being a lot about because she's white.
Right.
Not even just speaking directly about the situation, but yet again seeing a black man with a white woman kind of sends us into a tizzy.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that?
Stings a bit.
Well, when I first heard the story, because I'm familiar with B, and at first I was like, wow, my first reaction was like, he did what? Of course, that's what everybody did. Yeah, but I'm not on, so it's just like, but after I started thinking about it and knowing people who have gone through that, and my mother was a caregiver for a person who had Alzheimer's, so I get it. And like I was said, we don't know that B and him had this discussion prior to her really regressing to the age that she regressed to. I'm sorry, and she said, hey, when I get worse, you go on and live your life and find somebody. We don't know that, but again, here it is, social media and everywhere else, everyone has an opinion. Now, first just thinking about it, no, do I want Jeff to move somebody in my house if something happens to me like that? No, I wouldn't. But if I ain't all there, I really don't have nothing to say, right?
Who voting? Right.
It's like, hey, he can do whatever he wants to do, but I would hope that, he wouldn't. So, people do need to move on, and he needs to move on. He needs love, because it's rough. I take care of, my mom now, and I know what it's like to be a caregiver, and you need companionship, and, and so I get it. But I also get everybody else's side, because, in the black community, here we are again, we get this whole thing. There's another brother, not with a sister. So people get on that little thing. But again, he found love, and I'm sure he didn't, it just happened. Like a lot of things happen. You can't help, like I heard before, you can't help who you love, so you can't.
Yeah. I actually helped take care of my great grandmother when I was in high school. And then my grandmother got dementia. And she lived near us, near me and Ray. I'm the one that took her to the doctor to get diagnosed, and that was tough. And for a long time, her children would not accept the diagnosis. Right.
That happens
so
a lot.
until we got a phone call, me and Ray had got a phone call that my grandmother was driving around in circles at a gas station, actually in Livermore, California. They would not actually take responsibility and understand that this is a family, this is going to be a family job.
Right.
When I got pregnant with my twins and she started to regress even more, I finally told them, look, you guys are going to have to take the lead on this, because this is a different health situation. Yeah. But even looking at that, her and I had conversations about what she wanted to happen. So listening to this man talk about his wife, in whom he loved dearly and built this empire with, it's not like he came in
that part.
While she was rich.
Right.
He's been with her the entire time.
And he was actually the business sense behind. She was the brand, and he was the moneymaker.
So that's the piece that people are not hearing or not trying to hear, because, like you said, they built that brand. They built it together. But of course,
So it seems like they would have had some kind of communication during the, after the diagnosis, moving forward, getting all her medical stuff taken care of. And the truth of the matter is, we never really know what's going on in someone's relationship.
Exactly.
So to sit back and judge before you have the details and have the facts, it's unfair. It's unfair to them. It's unfair to B, because you don't know what her desire was. So you can, if you want to judge, and you want to judge just on the black man being with the black woman, that's a different conversation. Speaking of which,
white woman, you mean?
Yeah, that. Speaking of which, did you see the videotape of you know what I'm talking about? the videotape of the NFL player whose wife put out the video of all him and his friends talking about we gonna have more light skinned babies.
Yeah.
Did you miss?
Yeah.
Did you see that
I
one?
didn't see that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so-
Wow.
So I have to look back on that, and I wanted to get your thoughts if you haven't seen it. But it was a bunch of brothers and their wives or girlfriends, and they had cheers to more light skinned babies, and then she posted the video. So people are asking, like, what do you think about that? I think something is wrong with her, or she has problems with black women. Why else would she do something like that?
Right.
She posted it. There's one thing about the rest of the brothers, cheers to more light-skinned babies. We used to say, cheers to more healthy babies,
Right.
happy babies,
Right.
Loving babies.
loving babies,
You know.
beautiful babies. So I'm not sure if they mean only light-skinned babies are beautiful or what. But I found that incredibly disrespectful on her part for posting it.
Yes.
My first thoughts was
No,
he
it
must,
ain't her fault. It's his.
but she posted it.
I understand that, but it's because she feel real comfortable.
yeah.
Right. She feels
So
comfortable.
it's because none of them brothers checked her or them other
They were
folks that
participating.
were there. And that's the problem.
They were
That's why
participating.
she
Right.
feels so comfortable saying some craziness because ain't nobody ever looked at her and been like, bitch, I'll fuck you up.
Well,
Ain't nobody said that.
I initially
she
thought-
ain't never got choked. She ain't never got punched in the throat. She ain't never really come across nobody that would do these things. They've all
Right.
been complacent in her ignorance, and that's to fall again. Hopefully not. However, that is the problem. So I don't blame her. Go on, do what you do. White
I
lady.
actually think that
Go on, do what you do.
I actually think that maybe he must have a sister side piece or something because
Mm-hmm.
that seemed like a hateful thing to do. That was a hateful thing to do.
But it's also because she hasn't been checked. She ain't crossed, because clearly their circle isn't with anyone that'd be like, maybe that shouldn't be our cheers. Like, there isn't even a conscious white girl that's like, guys, there's always an ally.
Don't do that.
Yeah, we all need allies. Guys, that's really not appropriate. And what about everyone else? See, everybody is complacent.
They're going along to get along,
Yep.
and
She's gonna get choked out, and it's gonna be fine. And
Yeah, I think I didn't see it, but I just think we all feel certain ways about a lot of things, but when you go and put it like that on social media, now you open up yourself to conversations like this and other conversations.
Now you become
right, yeah,
a conversation.
because it's like, wow, okay, because we know people think a lot of things, they're just not saying it out loud, and that right there, I don't know what was in her mind to go out and put that on social media, and maybe she didn't know, and
Really? And
I know I say that all the time. I'm just
Really?
look,
Benefit of the doubt.
benefit of the doubt,
No.
but at the same time,
No.
but now it's out there, so maybe this needs to be a discussion because it's out there, because she's not the only one, I'm sure, saying those kind of things or feeling that way when it comes to, because I'm assuming these are mixed race kids.
For me, is don't let your
Yes.
president get you fucked up.
Oh, then there's
Okay.
that.
So clearly,
Okay.
that's the place that I'm in this morning. And let me just say,
What's
that's
in your
the-
coffee, girl?
lack of sleep. It's in my coffee today.
What's in your coffee?
But I also want to say we didn't do our caveat, and we need to do that, Gia, which is all opinions and thoughts are mine. Syreeta
Right.
Butler, not Syreeta Butler, licensed marriage and family therapist, even though there's a little piece of that as well. But don't come after me and don't call the people on me like last time.
Again, all our comments and thoughts are of really from me, not me, the law enforcement officer, me, just, your sister friend. Having a conversation with her sisters.
Clearly.
Well, as an advocate,
I'll take
I
it
think
down,
it's
though.
completely unfair to other children because we don't root for light-skinned kids or dark-skinned kids. We root for all the kids.
Right.
So with that, we're going to go
hard.
ahead and take our break. And when we come back, we're going to need some open minds and some questions.
Y'all get your
and
coffee ready.
A
'cause,
lot of fun.
We got some stuff coming for you when we come back.
You
All
see
right.
this grin?
Well, welcome back. We want to introduce you to this fabulous lady, Tiffany Elise Yelverton. She is the founder of Entice Me, our chief sexinista here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for having me as the white woman.
What a segment to come back from, huh? Yeah.
Thanks.
Welcome.
I love it. Welcome.
Yeah.
Feel right at home. That's all good. I'm Tiffany Yelverton. I'm the founder of Entice Me, and I help people have better sex lives because we don't talk about sex enough, and it's really a big part of our relationships as well as our confidence as women, and helps our health as well, being at Heart Month. It's not just Love Month, but Heart Association Month as well for heart disease. And 3 orgasms a week cut down on heart disease by 50%. So,
Damn.
So
you
sex
coming
and
out,
heart, huh?
You coming out with the stats just like that.
So what does 6 do for us? No, I'm just
you're
playing.
going to be all healthy.
Hey.
No wrinkles.
Your pipes are completely flushed out after
Wow. Okay, 6. Okay.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into this.
Well, I've, in my mid-20s, had never had an orgasm. And I went on a sexual journey to find myself because I thought something was wrong with me. You know, you see Cosmo and romance novels and movies and everything is just like, oh, it should be this big blow-up orgasmic rush. And I was like, that's not happening for me.
You wasn't getting that, huh?
I wasn't getting it.
Okay.
Having lots of sex. I thought it was good sex, but
No orgasm.
No orgasm, not, and I didn't even know because I didn't
Never
know.
right.
We talk about sex a lot as women, and there's always a negative connotation, whether it's good girls don't, or there's going to be a response, like you're going to have a disease or you're going to get pregnant, and it's never about the pleasure.
Wait a minute. You said we talk a lot as women about sex. We do? Because none of my friends...
No, like in general, like when we're in school and our parents...
Okay.
Like, there's always like a negative reaction that's going to happen. But, and so when I first had my own orgasm that I created myself and with toys and by exploring my body, I thought it was very important to share that.
Wow.
And why weren't we teaching that to everyone? And, got into a corporate career and got, to a point in that I was really unhappy. And so I finally decided to do something that I'm passionate about.
I want to say one thing. Did y'all hear that? She created her own orgasms. So we're going to talk about that too. Because some of y'all are trying to be all goody two-shoe. So.
And it changed your life. Your one orgasm changed your life. Yeah. You went from not having one and being in the place of not your job and everything. Your one orgasm was like, girl, we ain't doing this.
Wait a minute, and the one orgasm she created herself. It wasn't created by no man.
Right.
See, we're going to talk about that.
Part.
Absolutely. It's so important because if we can teach women that they are self-sufficient, it gives us a different confidence level when we go out to date or if we go out in the world, and it's proven that men know they masturbate all the time.
Well, you see, I'm sitting up straight, right? Look, I know.
They know that if they masturbate more, they feel more confident, and I think we need to do that as women as well.
Awesome. So you have a few little things to help some of us ladies.
I do.
In case we need to be self-sufficient.
So I gave you all a massage candle. They're made with coconut wax, which is really important because along my journey of finding products, I found out that chemicals that were outlawed in children's toys aren't outlawed in adult toys.
Oof.
And if we...
Make you nervous, huh?
Put things on our skin, like massage candles, a lot of them are soy-based, and those can change our estrogen levels because it goes right into our bloodstream. So... that's a little something. You don't have to have a partner.
Okay, you don't put too much on. Okay, because I don't want y'all changing up on,
So these,
doing the
I
podcast.
think it starts with that, like taking...
Easy.
Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, easy talking. I don't want y'all, I don't want some, easy.
So taking time to just massage yourself and to get that even oxytocin coming through your skin by touching yourself.
Are there specific places that... give us more pleasure than others?
Everybody's body is different.
Okay.
Obviously, genital regions, but there's a lot of nerve endings in all of our skin. Feet are very sensual. But I know for me, I get ready so fast in the morning because I'd rather sleep longer.
Me too. Me too. I'm a sleeper
So I'm
too.
like,
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, now you a sleeper.
and I don't ever take
Just
time
not,
to
you
just
know.
enjoy my body.
Okay.
And so I really teach women to like, okay, take time and learn about where those spots are on your body and where you're really turned on. And it might not be somewhere that you are expecting. And you can just have non-genital touch that is sensual.
Yes.
So you say touching is a key and it's very important, and women should take time to explore their bodies more and don't be afraid to touch themselves.
Right.
In all
Absolutely.
kind of places.
All kinds of places.
All right.
It's
So
very, very important.
I told you guys it was going to be some strong stuff.
And then this,
Got
so
your
I
coffee?
look at sex toys as an accessory to your bedroom, like a necklace is an accessory to your outfit.
Please do not tell
I
me
had
that she
no
about to
idea.
tell me.
Girl, what you got on your neck?
Yeah.
What
Lord
you got on
Jesus.
your neck? What is that?
I wasn't ready.
Ooh,
I wasn't ready.
Look.
I ain't ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Look.
I'm ready.
Oh, look. Girl, she got it with a girl. That's almost like with me carrying
Your pistol?
my pistol.
That's your
I-
pistol.
Shoot,
Your pistol's
it's a
your pistol.
See, so look, people. There's all kind of pistols.
And everybody says, "Oh, it's so small." Well, you know what?
It does the trick.
Clitoris is not very big. You don't
Nope.
need very
Just need a little bit. Just a little bit.
All around with a girl, just a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit of this,
I
a
love
little
it.
bit of that.
I love it, Tiffany. I love it, girl. Look.
So
Matter
is
of
there
fact,
a misconception that bigger is better?
Yes. Completely.
Depending on where you going with your bigger though. Like let's not do that though. Having bigger is depending on where you putting your bigger.
It depends. More average size
okay.
is more versatile. There's a lot more things
Girl,
you can do that.
she's saying that because, see, it's kind of small, probably. So her mouth,
My mouth.
yeah. So
It's-
maybe that's why she said, she wants some clarification. I don't know.
I'm going to tap out of that one. What else do you have to show us today? Because we do have, the truth is we do have a lot of friends, especially at our age. And she's in her 30s, I'm in my 40s.
And I'm in my 50s.
And some of our friends do not have a spouse or mate. Some of them
have
are going
themselves.
through changes in their status. So what would your advice be to them on Valentine's Day or just any day where they're feeling like, I'm needing some loving today? Self-love or otherwise?
I think it starts with self-love and not expecting to get it from someone else, because when you create your own orgasm, the oxytocin and the neurochemicals are circulating through your body, but instead of them creating a bind and a bonding emotionally with someone else, they create self-love for you, and it increases your confidence. It lets you push past things that you may not be willing to do normally. I always have my clients self-pleasure before they go in for a raise, before they go in for an evaluation, before a job interview, before they go on stage. Because it, one, relaxes you and takes the jitters off, but also...
Girl, so we got to start self-loving before we do the podcast.
Yeah.
But not together.
Not together.
Not together.
Unless that's your thing.
But look, see, you said self-love, and look, I
know,
love
that's
me.
hard.
That does say you love you.
And Jeffrey doesn't mind?
Yeah,
that you
I'm
love
already,
you? Your husband don't mind that you love you?
No, he doesn't mind, because me loving me, then I love him even more.
Oh, that was a good one.
That is so good.
Aww.
Your husbands or boyfriends or partners or brothers or whoever's in your life, they masturbate no matter if they're in a relationship or not. But as women, we tend to say, oh, I'm not going to self-pleasure. I don't need to because I have my man. But that's a completely different orgasm.
And I think it's because women just they're not comfortable with masturbating.
Yes.
And that's why I think they take their role. I have my man. And I think once they understand and have that orgasm, that self-orgasm, I think a lot, they'll change. That'll change.
It's a
that's
very
what I really think it
passive
is. Yeah.
space to occupy.
I actually think many of them don't try it or don't acknowledge it because they don't want to seem desperate, right?
Yeah.
No woman wants to feel like or let other people believe that they can't find someone to pleasure them. So even though the truth is you should be happy before you can make someone else happy.
Right.
That's
what RuPaul
For a
says.
woman saying I masturbate, to many could say you can't find a man to get you there, or you just can't find a man. Oof. So many women just don't say that, because then that makes them feel what? What do we always say? They feel inferior. There's that level of competition.
But some men can't get them there. So now what? Some
if
women
they don't have a man.
Okay, but some women are having men, and having multiple men, and they still can't get there. So
that's a different conversation.
But I also think that it's societal as well, and I think I really want us to bring in the social component to this, where young men are encouraged to masturbate. They are, or they're not discouraged. It's something that is spoken about. It's something that there's a thing set aside for them. But in terms of us, we never have a conversation about exploration in general. And it's because of the patriarchy that we don't matter. And so when we take on that we don't matter, we have things like sexual dysfunction. And I think that it continues to support and perpetuating the cycle of patriarchy just in general. And I know that was really deep, especially for me, but I find that if we took as much time in teaching a young woman to masturbate as we do a young man, or at least giving them the tools, whether it's a sock, Vaseline, dirty magazine, or not even dirty magazines, but porn, whatever. If we made those things accessible and comfortable to women, there'd be a lot more women who would masturbate.
What age is appropriate to teach a woman or a young girl to masturbate then? I mean, now that you said it, so then you have to enter into that. Like, what is a good what is a good time?
Therapist over here, but and talking to children about sex, they start having sexual urges at a year and a half, and so just never shaming them for touching themselves. And saying, that this is something that is very pleasurable, because you'll see little girls at like 3 years old rubbing on their blankets during nap time. It's very normal. And to say that's something that you want to do in your own room and away from other people, but it's something that you're going to love for the rest of your life.
And that's the other part that I'm glad that you touched on, is the shame that we get put on, or that gets put on us as young girls. Like, oh no, don't do that. Don't, it's instantly corrected, instead of saying, oh, well, instead of doing it here, maybe you can do it here, where you can have your own alone time when you can enjoy it more by yourself. It's a different way, but we get freaked out as adults, and we put our own guilt and shame about sex onto little people who is just exploring and expressing themselves naturally.
And that's then it just perpetuates generationally throughout society, because it does. I mean, we don't shame little boys for getting an erection when they're having their diaper changed, right?
When the air is hitting it.
What else do you have to show us?
So we were talking a little bit about sexual health. I think that the basis of a great sex life is strong and flexible pelvic floor muscles and feeling sexy. So if you have a little leakage, like most of us do at this age, this is called the Kegel, and it helps you do your Kegel exercises. Runs on an app, so you can do a 5-minute workout with your vaginal muscles.
Why don't you teach Gia how to use that?
Well, we're going to go to break. When we come back from break, we're going to have some demonstrations with some of these toys that Tiffany has in her bag. And her bag says Boss on it, so she has toys. She has a Boss toy bag, okay?
we just had a conversation on our short break, and I came back because I wanted to give it to our professional here, our sex therapist. When is a good time to give your daughter, your sister, your whatever young woman in your life their first sex toy? Or supporting them in learning and exploring about their masturbation?
Well, the average teen in U.S. and Canada has sex for the first time when they're 12. So,
y'all hear that? 12.
Boom!
12. 1, 2, 12.
I think that, probably when they start to get their period, that's when hormones start to change. That's even younger, but being able to say, this is for your pleasure. I mean, men have jerk off circles, and I know men who have taken their sons to prostitutes for their first time.
Yeah.
Things like that, to the rite of passage. Well, why aren't we teaching women that it's pleasurable and it's external stimulation? I would say get something little that's a little vibrator that they can use, because
give it to the camera. Let the camera see.
A little vibrator. See, it's little.
Listen in.
No, because I want to hear time.
So part of my passion of being a sex educator is that I grew up in a really conservative area. My family was not conservative, but
matches your lipstick.
A lot of my friends, they weren't taught about sex and they weren't taught about their bodies, and they went out and got pregnant.
Or herpes.
I had 22 girls my junior year in high school that I knew that were pregnant. We
Wow.
had the highest pregnancy rate in the nation in Idaho.
In
Idaho.
Because there ain't nothing to do but...
So everybody's like, oh, I don't know anything about this. We can have sex. Nothing's going to happen. Right.
So I did the exact opposite, and I used to tell my son and show him pictures of STDs and tell him that every girl is going to give this to him.
But that's
not okay.
Wow, Tonya, oh my God.
But
you
before
traumatized him now.
No, because it didn't stop him.
Oh, it didn't stop him. Okay.
But it did keep him from bringing some babies to the house while he was in high school. So,
okay.
Well, I think that when we have our own confidence that we can take care of ourselves and create that self-love, we're not, as teens, going to be so going out and saying, oh, I need somebody to complete me, or I need somebody to love. I want to have a baby because somebody will love me. And so if you love yourself first, and really think about if you had your first real nice orgasm when you're 14, let's say, I think that's a good age for a vibrator to say, wow, I feel good. I'm confident. I don't need to have that boyfriend or need to go have sex.
So just to pull back on that just a little bit, when someone is feeling like that, of course, I need to have a baby for someone to love me. Clearly, there's deeper problems in that, right? Is that something in your practice that you actually hit on? Because I'm guessing as you go through the process of why someone is lacking pleasure or lacking the ability to express their pleasure, that you find out that there's deeper issues. So how do you deal with that, or do you send them to somebody like her?
Well, I'm not a therapist, but a lot of those thoughts and thought patterns are just ingrained in us, so they can be cleared out with other modalities like EFT, by doing tapping, and by just figuring out what that trigger was at a point. And then if it is abuse or a cycle of something like that, then I would send them to a therapist. But a lot of times...
Usually you just need a good orgasm, though. That does help. Just saying. But I want to go...
A lot of it is just shame that we are holding ourselves.
But can we go back to Tonya and her deep breath that she made when we said 12 or 14 is a good time to introduce a child, a young woman to masturbating? Why there's such a deep sigh?
Because... I did grow up in a family where there were people that were not safe to be around your children. So when there are young girls, let's say there's a young girl that knows what that feels like at 14, but they have, let's say, predators around them. For me, that triggers some things. Worry is one of them. So when we talk about sexual pleasure, there's so many things that come into play about that. Safe places to be and having the right people around you is important. For my own household, I have no worries, but I think about saying that out loud to various other people that may not have safety and security in their own household. And there are people that know how to take advantage of that and be able to utilize that to their advantage. They're called predators for a reason.
I get what you're saying, but on the other opposite end, I think we should, what we haven't done in our community, at least in my household growing up, that we didn't have that discussion. So a lot of things that we learned, or I learned through trial and error, just exploring myself. And maybe if I would have had my parent or somebody having a conversation with me about certain things and the proper use and stuff like that, I would have been a little more well-informed young woman growing up. So
I agree with that. And my mom was very open with me about it. So when I was violated, I knew what to do and how to deal with that and how to push back on that. But again, my fear is knowing that there's so many young women at this age that are not able to have that conversation with their parents, their guardians.
So obviously, Tiffany, this is a conversation. It's a good conversation. And we probably need to continue this conversation maybe on another podcast and bring you back because you have a lot of information. But before we go, I would like for you to really go through some of these toys you brought for our viewers because some people might not know about these cute little things that you brought here.
And then also sizes. I've noticed in certain toys, they might have a small, medium, large. How should people size them, especially if they don't know what they are or what size they should be utilizing? Go ahead and give us that.
Size, it's what you enjoy. And, you try different sizes. Try it. It's trial and error. Just like everything's going to be. Some days you might want small. Some days you might want big. Some days you might want external stimulation. Some days you might want internal stimulation.
Okay.
And so there's it's just about what you like. And going back to the giving your daughter a vibrator, it's not just sitting on her bed and walking away. It's talking about that we're inherent beings to have pleasure and that you don't need to get it from someone else. You can get it from yourself first. Okay. And that it's having that safety talk and talking about predators. And I know it is very personal for you. It sounds like that, but not to shame women and girls for having pleasure and taking it in their own hands, literally.
Very good.
Okay.
So this is a great little starter vibrator as well. It also looks like a mascara or lipstick, so something all ladies should have in their purse because about almost 80% of women don't experience an orgasm from intercourse alone. So having some clitoral play. This one recharges directly on a USB drive, so you can just plug it on into your computer and charge it.
And then go to the bathroom on your break.
Charger, like in your car. Okay. But it's, very powerful.
Oh, yeah, it's powerful.
For Valentine's Day, this one's the Lalo Mia 2.
Lalo.
Oh, and it's powerful.
Very powerful.
Oh, it has settings.
They have
Jesus.
lots of settings.
Oh.
So this one is great for Valentine's Day. If you have a partner, you can, wear it out in public because this fits vaginally. And so you're getting clitoral stimulation, G-spot stimulation, and it's remote control. So you can also have sex with this the way that it's shaped. So penis goes in there.
Do y'all see that?
Because I do.
Double the pleasure.
Double the fun.
And so remote control, so you can control each other.
Control me.
Oh.
Control me, Gia.
So you can just move it. It's on sense motion right now.
Okay. I like that. How much is that?
That's $199.
Where's this? Amazon?
No, EnticeMe.com.
Oh,
my company.
Okay. Show.
Yeah, put your plug in there. How can we get these? Where can we get these toys, Tiffany?
All on EnticeMe.com. Be very wary about where you shop because chemicals. The chemicals and the labeling is that they don't have to be honest about what they say. And
that's awful.
So many counterfeit products on Amazon that most of our manufacturers that I go through don't allow sales on Amazon.
Really?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because we also have to,
Yeah,
and we
so that's
also
the
have
remote.
to
But it's
protect
also,
our.
Well, something.
The JJ.
So
Yeah.
you can, your partner or yourself, you can be using that on other parts of the body, but he or she can be feeling what
this
you're
part
feeling
too.
too.
Oh,
That's
a
the remote
twofer.
control part, yes.
Oh,
yeah.
shut
The
your
twofer.
mouth. You get a
Yes.
twofer.
Again, enticeme.com. You can get these toys.
And you can get Tiffany too to come out
Yes.
and show you how to use it, but not like that.
Yeah, I do private events, workshops. I just am launching my online courses. My first course is called The Orgasm Experience. It's that 8-week course teaching women how to love themselves, take time for themselves, and have deep vaginal orgasms.
Do we get treats too with it?
Yes.
Hey,
The orgasm
sign me
experience
up.
comes with over $500 worth of product that you need to use throughout the class and throughout
You need
the
to.
rest.
It is a prerequisite. It's like buying books.
Yes.
Sorry.
Well, if you guys didn't get enticeme.com, we'll have all of Tiffany's information on our Facebook My Morning Coffee podcast page. So you might want to reach out to her and maybe sign up for that 8-week course.
And as we wrap up, I'm just so thankful. Thank you so much, Tiffany, for coming and
Thank you for having me.
showing us how to be whole in ourselves, mind, body, and spirit. And so as we close, we'll tune in next week. Not next week, our next podcast where we are talking about, it'll be the day after the Grammys. So or the Oscars, Jiminy Christmas, the Oscars. So recapping of that and having some discussions about recycling dollars in your community and what that's like. And we, gonna keep the conversation going. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of my morning coffee. And I'm Syreeta.
And they can find you.
Oh yeah, that part. I always at SyreetaButlerMFT.com or Instagram at Syreeta SYREETA B as in Butler MFT.
And I'm Tonya McKenzie, TonyaMcKenzie.com or SandandShores.com. Yeah.
And you, Gia?
Oh, I'm Gia. You can find me on Facebook at Mahogany Box, RIG at The Mahogany Box.
And Tiff?
And you can find me at enticeme.com or at Entice Me Soirees on social media.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good one. See you next time.
See you next time.
See you next time.